Hello guys, today I would like to make a video quite different than the other videos from my courses and everything. Today it's not really a CAD tutorial. Today I want to show you something. Right, I found this CAD file on a website. You know there are websites where you can download files for free. Right, so someone was selling this. As I said, this is not a CAD tutorial. I'm just using this file. I actually bought this file because I want to show you how a bad ring look like. This is not about I like it, I don't like it. The video I'm gonna make today, it's like from a technical point of view, why this ring, I think, in my personal opinion, it's wrong. I'm not criticizing anyone's work. I'm not gonna say who did it. I'm not gonna write down any names. I don't know who did it actually, so doesn't matter. Right. Why do I think, and again this is my personal opinion, that this ring is wrong? Several things. First of all, if you look at the shank, it's not the first thing that is wrong, but the shank you can see that it's very thin. This file I assume has been done in matrix because of the gems layout. It doesn't really matter. As I said, this is not a CAD tutorial. I'm just using Rhino because this file I got it in Rhino format, so I could use a whiteboard to show you. Why do I think it's wrong? First of all, as I said, the thickness of the shank. Let's measure this. Line dimension. Let's see, this is 1.3. Right, 1.3 on the CAD, it's gonna be 1.1 once it's clean up and polished. So in my opinion, it's too thin. If you check the sides, 1.5. Again, 1.5 is going to end up being 1.3. I usually would not make it less than 1.5 on the final. So when I made the CAD file, I tend to use 1.8. Some 1.6 I would consider it thin already. Okay, it's not like super bad, but it's too thin anyway. What else is wrong here? Right, you can see the way this joins to this, it's just too thin. It's like overall the whole model it's flimsy, so this setting it's just too thin everywhere, so the stone is not really secure. It's quite likely that the setter might not be even be able to set it properly. If you see the claw, it's like too inside the stone. It doesn't need to be. Like that should be fine. You have to bear in mind that the metal contracts. The metal is rings a little bit always. So like this is usually how I would do it. Like that is way too much. The problem that you could find is once the setter is setting it is that the setter needs to remove a lot of metal. So once the setter is setting the claw, you will end up with a little bump here. So that's just not nice. It shouldn't be like that. The thickness is alright. I think that's gonna be like 0.8 or something like that. Dimensions, line dimensions. I know 1.1. So it's alright. In terms of thickness, it's alright. What else? This. We talk about the thickness when I was on perspective, this way, which should be a bit thicker, but it should always be thicker this way. So I'm not editing the file properly now. I just want to show you what I would change. This should be thicker. Yeah. I tend to make it quite thick and I tend to make it straight. You could also make it round, it's possible, but it should be thicker. And this one, it's not really bad, but at least here should be like 0.8, and something tells me that this is gonna be a bit thin. Just about right. But still, I would also make it a bit thicker, and I would not make it round. I tend to make it straight. Also, if you look from the side view, the setting goes pretty much straight down. Ideally, this should go like that, at least, more of an angle. Okay, this claw goes very straight. It's not that it will affect the manufacturing. I mean, you will still be able to make it, to print it and cast it, but it's much nicer when you look at it if the setting is tapering towards the shank. Also, the shank would make it a bit narrower. I might remake the whole ring later myself. So it's alright. Yeah. Also, the taper, if you see, if you trace a line from here to here, you see, you have an empty space here that you shouldn't have. It's not going straight. It's like, I'm exaggerating now, but it goes a bit like this, which it shouldn't. It should always go straight. Okay. There are many ways that you can make a shank. You could always make it, instead of like this, like this. A bit like this. I'm not showing step by step how to do something. As I said, this is not a CAD tutorial. I just want you to understand why, in my opinion, this design is wrong. Right, so as I was saying, this shank at the moment goes a bit like that. It's curving in, which shouldn't be like that. You could make it either straight, probably not so straight, probably more like this, or like this, but not curving in like that. Another thing, the shape of the claws, technically it's possible to make it round. You could have also, this is like my suggestion, it's not that it's wrong, but you could have also make it a bit like this. Something similar to this, so it looks a bit nicer once it's set. What else? As I said, the way these joins with this, you cannot have this. You can either make this in one part or in two parts, but what you cannot have is this. It would be a bit better, slightly better, if this was a bit lower, and then you just chop off the whole setting like this. Okay, if you just chop it off like that, it would be better. Still, it would be wrong. Could be improved substantially, but it would be better.